that doctors will let you die so that they can get your organs?
No.
Oh, here it is, another after party podcast. Hi, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey!
Hey, remember we had Lori from Indianapolis on the show, and she has the best job in the world. She's a miracle worker. Let's remind everyone about what Lori's all about. Lori, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, tell everyone what you do for a living, because it's fascinating, we think.
Okay, so I go in with the surgeon and I recover organs, mostly kidneys, but I do lungs, I do liver, I do heart, and kidneys.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, this is important stuff. What do you think, Gandhi?
So when you say you recover them, are you the person that's transporting them somewhere else, or are you actually going in there and getting them out?
I do both.
Oh, wow.
I go in there, I get them out, and with the kidneys, then I clean them, cannulate them, put them on a pump, and I take them back to my office, and I find them a home.
Wow.
Okay, I have a question. How long, like I heard that it has to be like a quick process, like it has to get on ice really quick, some of these organs. Like how quick is this process of getting it into somebody else?
Okay, so heart, lungs, liver, they will all have a home before we go into the OR. So they all know where they're going because those will have to be placed within 8 hours of coming out of a body.
Okay.
It's close.
The kidneys, however, we put them on a pump and they can last up to 24 hours. And they do not have a home when they are retrieved because they are so size specific, the kidneys. So we wait until we take those out so that we can measure them, cannulate them, see how well they're pumping, and then we find them a home.
Wow, never knew any of this. So this is why it's important to always have a Yeti cooler in the garage ready to go. You know?
I keep one in the trunk of my car for emergencies.
So I must assume that if you have up to 8 hours to get most of those organs moved and in the recipient, there's a major network of communication going on here, right?
It's a whole team. It's a whole team working together because I'm in Indiana, but let's say that I have a donor whose heart perfectly matches a recipient in Texas. We have to be in cahoots with Texas, get them up here in time, and then we have to wait until that recipient is basically on the table and they're ready for that heart. They'll call us and say, okay, we're 2 hours out. Then we know that we can take that heart out, get it on the cooler, get it on the plane, and get it back to Texas.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this. If you have someone coming in, let's say from Newark Airport, and it's delayed 4 hours, or I'm sure it doesn't work that way. I mean, have you ever had to lose an organ because they just didn't make it in time?
We do not, because we have private jets.
Oh, wow.
wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, do
Scary,
you give
how
the
impressive.
organ-
You should donate a kidney. You get to fly on a private jet. What's that,
Hey,
Danielle?
do you give the organs names? Like if you take somebody's, like heart out, do you name it like Larry the Heart or something?
We do not, but we should do that. Maybe we'll start that.
See?
Danielle, always with the very deep, probing scientific questions.
Exactly.
Well, no, it's fine. Let's take this. Hi, my name is Larry the Heart. Gandhi's full of questions. What do you have?
Yes. Okay, so I have a couple. So one, the patient always flies to you and you never fly the organ to the patient?
No. We will go wherever we are needed. So let's say that we have a heart here. Wherever the heart is going, that heart team will fly here, get the heart, and then fly the heart back to their hospital.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then my other question was, are people just ready to have surgery at that moment? Like, I thought before you had some pretty major surgeries, you're not supposed to eat for a certain amount of time, and there's certain things you have to prep your body for. But if you get a heart, you get a heart. Do they just go?
Right. And so if you're on the top of that heart list, you already know. And most of the people that are getting the heart are already in the hospital.
Okay.
So they're already on the antibiotics and doing all the things that they need to do.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be sitting there and you're not in the hospital, but the phone rings and said, okay, get down here now. And you're like, okay, go time.
Right.
Wow.
You have your whole bag packed, ready to go.
Which is what they do for kidneys, because kidneys can be like that. because, like I said, they don't have a home. So when they find a home, they'll call the recipient and say, hey, we have this kidney. Would you like to come in? And they'll say, yes, sure. So then they'll drive to the hospital and get them all prepped and ready.
Wow.
This is incredible. By the way, we're talking to Lori, who won a contest from her. That's how she won a contest with us, rather. And now we know one of the most fascinating people on earth. This is just a blessing. Yeah, Nate, what do you have for Lori?
I have so many questions for you. So
let's start with one.
Okay.
So the first one I have is so the family, the recipient family, and the family of the donor. Do you connect the two of them? Do you
we
or is it
do
anonymous?
if they want to,
Okay.
because there, believe it or not, are some recipient families who do not want to know anything about the donor, and there are some that want to know everything about the donor. So that is a whole separate group from what I do, but they are our bereavement and aftercare program. They connect those people, but they write letters back and forth to each other through our network.
Okay.
So we don't say, hey, this is their address, this is where they live. You write a letter, you give it to us, we give it to them. And then eventually, if those people want to meet, they absolutely can.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fascinating. A second question. So you went back to school at the age of 40 because you decided this was something important in your life that you needed to do for you.
I did.
How difficult was going back to school at 40, and what did you leave as a career to do this?
Let me tell you how difficult it was. My first communications class I had to take, they were like, okay, we're going to make PowerPoints and we're going to do this and we're using Google Docs and all of these things. And I turned to the senior in high school that was sitting beside me and I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Wow.
Don't worry, I'll help you. I had no idea what I was doing. It was a mess. It was a mess.
I have a question.
What
Well, hold, she hasn't answered the question yet.
Yeah, but that is such determination that you had to say, I'm going to do this. My God, you're such an inspiration.
I know. I love that. But
Well, I'll
what
tell you
career
what.
did you leave?
So-
What career did you leave to do this?
I worked for an ophthalmologist.
Okay.
Wow.
I was a receptionist at an ophthalmologist's office.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So when my husband passed away, what inspired me to do this was I received a letter from the lady who received my husband's heart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And I
Wow.
can't tell you how many times I read that letter. At least 200 times I
What
read
did
that
it
letter.
say? I mean, what did it say? Just the headlines that really, really stick out.
It was just like, thank you so much. This was such an unselfish thing for you to do. You went through this horrible tragedy, but still had compassion to help me. And now I am able to see my grandchildren grow up.
Oh, wow.
I was able to watch my daughter get married. I was able to do all of these things because of your husband.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I decided right then and there that I didn't know how, I didn't know what, I didn't know what it was going to entail, but donation was going to be a part of my life in some way.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I cannot imagine what it's like to have a doctor look you in the eye and say, you're at the end of your life. Unless.
Yeah. And
Unless
if
someone
you wanna
has
hear
unless someone has an organ to keep you alive. Now, what were you going to say?
Yeah. One of the very tragic parts of the story that I left out was my husband and I were together for 8 years. And we never talked about getting married. We were just happy. We were dating. We lived together. We were just happy, whatever. And on a Tuesday, he looked at me and he said, what are we doing this weekend? And I said, I don't think we have any plans. And he said, let's get married. And I was like, what? And he said, let's get married. So we flew to Destin. We got married on the beach, just the two of us. And 16 days later, he passed away.
Oh,
So-
wow.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we were only married for 16 days, but that was definitely God telling him to take care of me.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Wow.
Wow.
Your
Yeah.
story is beyond fascinating. You have so many different layers
Thank you.
of storytelling and things to learn. Scary, you had a question for Lori?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was ever a situation where somebody was waiting for like something like a liver, for instance, and then then all of a sudden the liver comes out of the other person, and you're like, ooh, yeah, we can't use this because maybe the person like had a life of like, drinking too much or something. Has there been an organ where you guys were like, you got your hopes up to be able to use it, and it's like, yeah, can't?
Absolutely. We had some lungs just a few weeks ago that we do CAT scans and bronchs and all of the testing beforehand. Nothing showed up on the test, and then we got in and there was a nodule on the lung that turned out to be a cancerous nodule. So of course we can't use any of the organs then.
I guess my liver won't work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove myself from the liver list. Finally, Gandhi, what do you have for Lori?
Okay, I think it's a question that is the biggest urban legend maybe of all time. Is it true that if you have organ donator or donation on your license, you're an organ donor, that doctors will let you die so that they can get your organs?
No. This is so funny that people think this. No. When you come into the ER, they don't look at your license and go, yep, put him over in, aisle left. He's going to go to organ donation.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to debunk that one because we hear it all the time.
No.
I'll tell you what, we have people texting in.
Do not even know that you are an organ donor
Okay, good.
You're on a vent and way after. No.
Okay.
Because the rumor out there is it's a possibility. People were texting us saying you should ask Lori about whether or not, people are watching their watch while I slowly suffocate so they can take my organs.
Rifling through my wallet.
No.
Oh my God! So this has been amazing, Lori.
No, that is not true.
Speaking with you, and do you guys agree? I mean, this is just amazing.
Yeah,
This is
it's amazing.
we could go on and on.
Guys.
So many levels.
Thanks.
We could go on and on. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you. And if ever you need a liver, don't come running to me.
We're gonna take your heart, Elvis.
All right. Oh, see, my heart, it's golden.
You're not going to find it, let me tell you.
Shut up. You menace. All right. We love you, Lori. Thank you for listening to us. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Aw.